Hi YouTube, you may not recognize me. It's Mary von Mutius. I'm going to walk you through me attempting Salma Hayek routine and tricks, shopping my stash. Hey guys, it's Mary. So that's what we're doing here today. We are going to be attempting to recreate the Salma Hayek Vogue routine that she did, kind of sharing her beauty tips and tricks.
Hi Vogue, you might not recognize me, but this is Salma Hayek. I'm going to walk you through my routine and tricks.
But we're going to be shopping our stash and doing it with what I had in my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right now to me shopping my stash and gathering everything up that I needed to do this routine. And then we'll hop back here and we'll jump straight into a routine and see what we come up with, because this should be interesting. Now, disclaimer, I in no way, shape, or form think that I'm going to come out looking like Salma Hayek. I am not delusional. I'm just having fun with this routine, and I absolutely love her energy and love her vibe, and I just thought it would be fun to try to do all her. She really is into beauty and that type of thing, you can tell in the video, and she's really personable. She uses her hands a lot in her makeup, which is something that I'm trying to get more into. Yeah, so let me quit rambling and we'll just jump right into it. Here's me shopping my stash to collect all the stuff that we needed. Alright, so today we are in my bathroom, guys, and we are going to shop my stash. Pick out everything we need to recreate the Salma Hayek Vogue routine, and I'm really, really excited. So, is it awkward that we're in my bathroom? Yeah, it's pretty awkward. So, my idea was I'm going to try to film this with the camera vertical, and then on either side of the video, you should be seeing what Salma was using on the left and what I am using on the right. And that's how we're going to go through this. Now, I did try to do my due diligence and I'm prepared. I wrote down everything that she used and what I think is the closest in comparison that I have in my collection. And I did kind of consult with Google, and I also was having to take snapshots and try to figure out some of the products that she used, because she was not very forthcoming. It was like the mystery tutorial in some of her products. Bear with me. I'm not used to holding the camera in my hand, so I'm going to try really, really hard to make this not shaky, but please, please, I'm sorry if this is not the best quality. Okay, so the first thing is, she started out, which we've got on already, but I will show you what I picked out from my collection. She is using the Dr. Nigma treatment mask, and she also has on the Patchology Restoring Night eye patches. For that, we're gonna run over here. I apologize, it is kind of dark. My husband is actually trying to help make me a little space with a computer and whatnot. I was kind of editing all my YouTube videos and doing everything in my daughter's room. Oh, he's amazing as always, and he kind of is helping me make this little area. And guys, I'm just obsessed with it so far. It's from a little cleaning closet area that we had in our bedroom, and yeah, we're turning it into my little spot. So anyways, we're gonna come over here, and yes, I'm just gonna forewarn you, I do have a lot of face masks. The one that I chose for this that I have on my face is going to be, this is the VT Riedel Shot Vitamin C one, because the one that she was using was a brightening vitamin C, so that's what I chose for that. And the eye masks she's using are a smoothing type eye mask, and this is my favorite as of late, the Nambuzin number 9 eye gel patches. I actually just did a whole video about how much I love Nambuzin. I will link it. Next up, she uses what I believe to be the Chantecaille Rose Water, which that was hard to find what she was using for that. I believe, like I said, that it's the Chantecaille Rose Water. For this, we're going to be using the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. I have this little tray over here that we're going to be putting everything in so we can set everything that we're going to be using for this routine off to the side. Next up, she's doing the Beauty Sandwich Amuse Bouche like facial spray. For that, we're going to be using the Dalba Aromatic Spray First Rescue. This is kind of like the only like facial mist kind of thing I have, so we'll use this. She goes in with what she calls a light moisturizer, and she's using the Charlotte Tilbury Water Cream. So the thing that I thought out of my moisturizers that would be the closest to this, I kind of gotta get in here. I think we're gonna go with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I feel like this would be the best option from my collection, so that's what we're gonna do. She next goes in with the Sicily Anti-Aging Eye Cream. So for that, I'm gonna use my new favorite eye cream, which is, let me come down here. My new favorite eye cream, which is this Numbuzin number 9 again, the Numbuzin number 9 eye cream. It's like in this crazy packaging. That's what we're going for. The Sicily Eye Contour Mask. She is using that on her lips, which I thought was a little bit interesting. We're going to go in with the Dr. Idriss Lip Baste, which is this one. Yeah. It's like a very thick kind of lip balm type deal. And then she uses the La Mer Lip Treatment. So for the lip treatment, I think I'm going to go with this Lip Sleeping Mask by CosRx that I really, really like. She uses the La Mer Concentrate Face Oil. Now this, I was really kind of not sure what I should use, so I did go ahead and consult with the internet, and what we came up with was this face oil. I've got all this ordinary stuff in the front, but I've got this Good Molecules Pure Cold Pressed Rosehip Seed Oil. That's what we're going to use. The Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. That's what she uses for foundation. I was going back and forth. I honestly could not decide. I was like, what do I use for complexion? Making me overthink this way more than I should. But anyway, I think what I've decided to go with is this Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator, which is, I think, kind of to me, embodies what she's describing the Charlotte Tilbury to be. So I'm going to use this. I think this is friendly for like finger use and also has skincare in it, so we're going to go with that. She goes in with the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Concealer. And the closest concealer that I have is going to be the Estee Lauder. This is the closest to my skin tone. Actually, maybe the RMS. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to throw them both in there, but I think this one is more like what she's using because she's using one with a wand. See how I'm already I'm deviating from my list. All that preparation. Okay. She then goes in with another, like a lighter concealer, and she's using the Touche Éclat. The lightest concealer I have as far as formula would be the Kulfi. So that's what we're going to use. She then goes in with the Merit Contour and Sculpt. For this, I was going back and forth again. Is anyone surprised? I think I was going to go with the Matchstick, but I'm not. I am enjoying this new House Labs Contour Balm, so that's what we're going to go with. Then she wants something that, you need a little bit more of a punch. Like, to be more detailed with your contouring. She uses the Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus. And I actually have this Morphe Shape Lifter, which is very similar. It's a thin stick contour. So she then uses the Chanel Le Beige Water Tint, but she uses it as a bronzer. So she's going in with like a really dark shade of that tint. Now, I do have the CoverGirl quote unquote dupe for that, which is the Perfection Essence, but mine is not dark enough to use as like a bronzer or anything, so I can't use what I have that's actually closest to that product. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this Contour Stain by Sashu because it's a very liquidy contour, and so that's what we're gonna go with. Then she uses the Makeup by Mario concealer again, so we're just gonna go ahead and use our Estee Lauder again. Then she uses the Anastasia Brow Gel. So for brow gel, I am really enjoying this L'Oreal one, but I think we're going to go with Rare Beauty today because this is like a tried and true, cannot go wrong with the Rare Beauty, so that's what we'll do. She is using a Victoria Beckham eyeshadow stick. And I don't have a Victoria Beckham eyeshadow stick, but I do got quite a few eyeshadow sticks. And I have really been loving this Tarte Smolder Eyes, which is kind of like this burnt, sultry, bronzy color, and we're going to go with that. Then she uses a Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner to go in kind of more detailed. I have this like L'Oreal Le Shadow stick that's a deeper colored bronze. It's darker, more deep, so we're going to try that. Yeah, she goes in with another Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner in a different shade. I love it. This is like the best eyeliner ever for your waterline. I got it on one of the Sephora sales. I do really, really love this eyeliner. So we're going to use that. She goes in and curls her lashes. So let's go. I know, I'm sorry. Don't mind my cluttered shelves. You know, working with what I got here. Okay, so we're going to go in with our eyelash curler. Okay, so she goes in with the Victoria Beckham wardrobe palette and uses this kind of shimmer on her lid. And I was trying to think of like what palette, excuse me, this is dusty. I was trying to think of what palette I should use, and then I was like, you know what? No, I don't think I'm going to go in with a palette. I think I'm going to go in with my favorite eyeshadow of all time, which is kind of like this burnt copper shimmer that she was kind of talking about. And it's the Date Night Duo by Rabanne this is one like literally probably my favorite eyeshadow for one and done ever. On top of that shadow, she goes in with a highlighter stick, and she's using the Victoria Beckham Reflex stick. And for this, I didn't know which highlighter stick to go in with, and I was really trying to think of what highlighter to use. But I think the only one that I own that probably won't disturb the eyeshadow is this Hints True Dimension Radiance Balm that's supposed to be a dupe for the Chanel stick. So then she goes in with some mascara, and she's using the Chanel like La Volume mascara. We are going to go in with this little, where is it? I have like this little sample that I wanted to use. I will find it. It's a little sample of the Lancome mascara that I've really been loving, and since it's a mini, I don't want it to dry out. We're going to get use out of that. Then she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Powder. That was another one of the products that I couldn't really see. Is that actually what she's using? I'm not 100% sure because she is very, very like serious. But so powder. So for this I was thinking long and hard too. I do have quite a few powders that I love. But for this, I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Pressed because it is just my tried and true, always looks good over everything. Love this powder. Let's see, I will throw in a powder puff to use with it because the one that came with it is pretty dirty. So, well, this one's dirty too, but we're going to use this. Then she goes in with more concealer. She uses the Touche Eclat again. I'm going to use the the Kulfi. She goes in with her Gucci bronzer. So, I don't have the Gucci bronzer, but I do have the, let me see. With this, I don't know if I should use the RMS Hydra Bronzer or the Fenty. The Fenty I have owned longer. This is like kind of my tried and true. It's more matte, and then the RMS is newer to my collection. I might try this because I've really been enjoying this one. It's got like a nice sheen to it. So let's go in with this one. Alright, and then she goes in with the Gucci Powder Blush. For our blush, we're going to go in with, let me see. We're going to go in with the Tower 28. Oh, my drawer's not wanting to shut. Excuse me. I was thinking about using the hiding back here, the Patrick Ta Duo, but I think this will be prettier. She goes in with the Victoria Beckham Reflex Stick again, but this time on her cheeks. So when she goes on her cheeks, I thought I was going to use something different. I'm not going to use that Hints. I'm actually going to go in with this little Westman Atelier Mini, and I'll use that for my cheek highlighter. Then she's starting on her lips with the Makeup by Mario. She uses a couple different Makeup by Mario lipsticks. The first one though, she says to go for something that's more like a stain. So I was like, okay, Mary, what do you have that's more like a stain? the closest thing that I was thinking of when she said that was these NYX liquid IVs, and I'm gonna use the shade Mocha Me Wet because I feel like that's the closest to what she was using, so that's that. And then she goes in with the lipstick. For the lipstick, I'm gonna use Clinique Black Honey. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Okay. There's the Black Honey. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna use Clinique Black Honey for the lipstick part. She then goes in with a lip gloss. I'm not gonna lie, the majority of my lip glosses are in the car, but I do have a decent amount in the house I use like initially when I first do my makeup, and I probably would go for this one for this. I feel like it's probably the best color. Because it has a little bit of shimmer, and she's using the Plumpgasm, which I think has a little bit of shimmer too. And the very last step that she does is do the Benefit Roller Lash in her hair to do her grays. Now, I do not have grays, so I'm not going to do that. But if I was going to do that, out of my collection, what I would grab would be I have the e.l.f. kind of dupe for that, which is the Lash and Roll. So I would probably grab that because it has a similar brush and whatnot. But since I don't have grays, I'm going to go ahead and just like use something to straighten my hair out. And what I would use to like straighten my hair out and just look presentable would always be this Day hair wand. So that's what I'm going to grab for that. Boom! Okay, so I have everything that we selected right here. We have Salma right here to follow step by step by step by step. And, you know, me doing my absolutely terrible Latino accent because I am half Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish. I've mentioned before I'm doing Duolingo, so I'm trying, you know, I'm doing my due diligence, but I don't speak Spanish, so I'm just being silly, trying to sound like her because I love her. Anyways, okay, so back to this. First, we start with a double whammy. First, I have this mask that I love. It's not the one that she uses, but I definitely love it. And it's the VT Original Shot Vitamin C Brightening Mask, which that's what she uses, is a Vitamin C Brightening Mask. So that's what we're going to do today. And she considered double whammy because she has the mask on. But as I'm sure you can already see underneath here, which one is a two-part mask, I forgot. I forgot my mask was 2 pieces. Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. Okay, so under here, she has the patches from Patchology. I have the patches from Nambusen. I use these Nambusen patches, Nambusen number 9, and yeah, I really like them. So they have my favorite. The Nambusen number 9 line is my favorite of that whole entire line for sure. She says sometimes she sleeps with her eye patches, and she thinks that because, you know, it doesn't dry out or whatever, that it helps her to not look swollen and stuff under her eyes. And I would have to agree. I do enjoy sleeping with a good mask and sleeping with eye patches. I would have to agree with Salma on that one. She's like, you know, she's saying she thinks she might be crazy, but no, I think she's right. She's onto something. And you know what, Salma? It doesn't matter if it's psychological or not, because you're not crazy, because thoughts become things. Her grandmother taught her, her abuela taught her not to wash her face in the morning because then you wash off all the good oils that you have. And so we're not going to wash our face. It is the afternoon now, so I'm not going to lie. And she goes in with a rose water spray, and I tried to look up. I'm pretty sure it's the Chantecaille one that she uses. We're going to be using the Mario Badescu one. I do really enjoy the spray. One of my best friends got me turned on to the spray, and now I have given it out as a gift because I really do enjoy it. And her grandmother was right, because when you think about it, our skin is working very hard all night to build those natural oils that are, I'm sure, you know, our body knows what it's doing better than we do, you know, trying to tell it what to do. So I think she's onto something with letting those oils ride, not washing your face in the morning. I might try that. Then she uses the beauty sandwich, and she's like, God knows what's in here. And she doesn't even know what's in it, but it's very, very expensive. We're going to use the D'Alba, is this the D'Alba or the D'Alba? I think it's the D'Alba Aromatic First Spray Rescue Serum, and that's what we're going to be using. You have to shake this up because it does come in layers. So This has actually gone quite viral. You can get it on Amazon. It's kind of one of those do-it-all sprays. You can refresh with it. You can just use it as a hydration spray. You can use it as a prep spray. You can use it to kind of make your makeup meld together and not look so powdery. Next, she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Water Cream, which we're going to be using the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. And I really do love this cream. It's just gotten pushed to the side to a little, ooh, it matches my clothes today. It's kind of gotten pushed to the side to a little bit because I have really, really been loving the Dr. Dennis Gross. I think this is a vitamin C, is that what it's called, with lactic acid in it. It's just a really, really nice moisturizer. And her grandmother was the type that made her own beauty stuff and really had a lot of beauty tips and tricks and taught her a lot about beauty and skincare. And one of the tricks that she taught her was to do the face slapping, which I have heard this a lot too. I don't do it, but we're gonna do it today, you know, and maybe I need to start doing it, but the face slapping. So am I doing this right? I feel like let me see what Selma's doing. Hold on. Try that again. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but we're trying. We're slapping all the way down the neck. Which I do always try to take everything down my neck. And she puts the leftover on the backs of her hands. Smart lady, don't let it go to waste. Definitely feeling hydrated. She goes ahead and taps in some of her eye cream, and again, matches my outfit too. Man, we're just like, dude, we're matching today. I love it. But this eye cream, this is my favorite now, so I'm going to put in a little bit of this. Let me give myself a little injection. That's how this one works. It's a little bit of a, trying to do this without a mirror. It's interesting. Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna tap. We put a lot on, but we're gonna tap. So I had mistakenly grabbed the lip peel, but we're going to use the lip Baste. So don't mind in the Shop My Stash when I grab a lip peel. Which I do really love this balm. Sometimes she feels like she has a lot of those little lines in her mouth that she puts on, you know, like a lip treatment. And I always feel like I have a little of those lines ever since I'm not 22 anymore. I'm going to put on this CosRX lip sleeving mask because it's what I think makes my lips plump out the most. I love to leave this on overnight. And it fills out my lines the best. So next she goes in with her face oil, which is a very, very pricey face oil. We're going in with Good Molecules Rosehip Oil, which is the closest thing that I had. And we're just going to do a few drops of this because this can make me feel kind of greasy. So I'm going to go in like 2 drops of that guy. And just kind of rub it around my hands and press it in. I feel so insanely hydrated right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. That mask, all this skin prep. Well, she says she only puts it right here, I guess. Oops, let's just pretend that I just put it right here and put it right here. She says she puts it sometimes on top of makeup to help the dry, crackly makeup. So she said as a base she wanted something that was fairly natural finish, but had a little bit of coverage and was the right color. So we're going to try to do our best that we can with the color, and we're going to go in with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This is the Tinted Hydrator. It's got hyaluronic acid, and we're going to go ahead and start putting this on our face, which this is, I think, it is a little bit light for me, but we're going to bronze it up a little bit later, and it does, I think, oxidize slightly. I'm going to go ahead and rub that in. She does, almost everything with her fingers, which I'm so intrigued by. And she says to always make sure that you come down your neck a little bit. I always get scared that it's going to get on my clothes. That's what I'm concerned about. I feel like everyone always says to put makeup on your neck. I'm like, really? Ah. No one's scared, I guess. We're going for it today. We're doing what Salma does today. Because this high lady knows what she's talking about. She's gorgeous. She knows, you know, like skincare, which, you know, to me is like, everyone thinks that makeup is this way to hide and like, oh, you know, fool everybody and cover up makeup. But, you know, I don't think it's that. It's like a part of self-care. And I love the way that she marries both together. Like, you know, taking care of yourself and self-pampering and makeup and beauty. That's my girl. She's talking about how she has this natural darkness in her eyes and she so likes it. Oh my gosh, I can't even be like her. She's so cute. But yeah, so she has like, you know, some circles around her eyes and how she just embraces it because it's been given to her with the years of wisdom, and you know, so she embraces like that dark circles around her eyes, which I feel like I kind of have a little bit, maybe not in the same way that she's saying, but I have like hollows under my eyes for sure. She says it's, you know, it's like eyeshadow that the years have gifted her. So we're gonna let the gifts do their thing. Keep our presence. She then goes in with the Makeup by Mario concealer, and I'm gonna go in with the Estee Lauder because this is kind of the closest one that I have to my skin tone. She's covering up, she says, like her dark spots and her, you know, her any like kind of blemishes. So that's what we're doing right now. Which I have quite a few dark spots. I always feel like they just blend away, but we're just following the routine, you know. I still feel like we're gonna end up seeing them at the end. But I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative. So she's actually doing a little bit under her eyes too, so we're gonna do that. And then she's just tapping everything out with her fingers. She's just literally just taps everything out. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's tap it. She brings it down and she tap 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 tap. Okay, then she goes in, she says, with something lighter when she needs it, or she needs it, and she uses the Touche Éclat. And we're gonna go in with the Kofi concealer. And I'm just gonna put a little bit more, which is kind of crazy, but she does put both. I think she's implying that she usually does one or the other. And right now she's doing a little bit of both. That's what we're gonna do. She puts some around like the edges of her mouth, like where she has a little bit of darkness. But she looks like she drank a chocolate shake when she was strong. But we're just gonna let that sit for, I know I look ridiculous. We're just gonna let that sit for a minute. Use the House Labs Contour Balm. And she's just putting a little bit, and then she's already just kind of blending it a little bit with her finger. She also kind of has a little bit coming up this way. So I'm going to put that there. And just blend that out. Then she says, if you need a little bit extra, if you need a little, you know, we're going to go in with our a little punch in specific places. We're going to add a little punch. You know what I mean? She does her, like, nose contour little dots. So I'm going to do the same thing she does. That, and then she kind of takes this into her eyes, like a little bit. She says to put this dark, like, super high. So that's what we're going to do. I feel like she is using something darker than the one I have, but you know what? This is what we've got, so that's what we're using. She's also putting a little bit of that in her inner corners, like right here. Okay, and then she's just literally just blending everything in with her fingers. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so she kind of kind of like, she's literally blending with her hands. And that's what we're gonna do. Sorry if I go out of frame a little bit. I'm trying to see at least a little bit in the mirror. Okay, she still hasn't blended out her concealer. She's now going in with that Chanel tint that we don't have. So we're gonna use this contour stain because it's like, it's kind of like a a liquidy stain. I'll show you what I mean, that it's like, see, it's like, it's very liquidy. So that's what we're going to use, because I think we can get like the very, very similar. And she kind of has it on her fingers like this. She puts it on. So, does it look scary? Yeah, it looks scary. I think I went a little too much. So let's blend that out. Okay, I'm definitely trusting the process here. Trusting the process, Salma. Okay, now she's coming in to tap out that concealer. So we're gonna go ahead and tap out our concealer. I do like the way that using your fingers kind of melds everything in together. Yeah. I do like that. I'm just gonna... Okay, so she's going in for kind of like the stubborn spots, like the dark guys, and she's going to go in with a little bit more concealer, so that's what we're going to do. So I don't have to add another concealer into our total. She's just going back in. Just going to do that. Tap it over. Okay, next she's going to go in with her brow gel. So we're going to go in real quick with the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. Make sure I get all the gunk off, because then it will make your brows look crazy. I should say loco. Make your brows look loco. So she doesn't, I think she's using the clear one. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just what we're doing here. We're just going to, I'm not coloring them in at all. I'm just doing the brow gel. And my bald tails will just stay where they're at. Okay. She says she tries to make them straight, so I did kind of like comb it over to the side a little bit. She goes in with her first eyeshadow stick, and we're going to be using the Tarte Smolder Eyes right onto our eye right here. She makes it a point to say how she doesn't want to look overproduced. That's not the look that she's going for. And she just blends this out just a little bit. My little turban thing keeps messing up. Then she goes in kind of a little bit more with this and doesn't blend it out as much as she did the first time. It's like, we're going to call this session finger makeup, which is exactly what it is so far. Now she uses like a more of an eyeliner, darker eyeliner, more towards the base. For the darker one, we're going to go in with the lash shadow stick in Abyss. Try to get that kind of closer to our lash line. Trying to be good and not tug at my eyes. She blends this out too. She doesn't leave it just like a total liner. She does smudge it out. Then she says she goes in with something lighter on the lower lash line. And what I'm going to be using for this is like the Mahogany by Prada in my lower lash line. It's like a maroon color. Okay, so then she goes in and curls her lashes, and she says she tries to like angle it. So let's try to angle it up. Like this. She went ahead and she says that she doesn't really like to use shimmer everywhere in her face, because when you're older, you don't like to accentuate, but she will use a little bit of shimmer on her eyelid, and she wanted something that has the, the je ne sais quoi. And for me, that's going to be this Rabanne Duo, the color in Date Night on the top right here. That's what I'm putting on my lids, because that's what I love. Like, it's gorgeous, shimmery, beautiful goodness. Like, taupey, just beautiful one and done type shadow. And she does kind of like take it up into her crease, which I think that this one is really, really good for. For the first time, she does go ahead and use a brush for this one. So for the crease, I'm going to go ahead and use a brush and just kind of take that color into the crease and blend it out a little bit. I love that color. I feel like this is the perfect color to use for something like this, because it looks like you have more than one color on, even though you don't. It's so pretty. I have another one of these duos, but this is by far my favorite one. They had them on that Ulta half off sale. I think it was last year. What do we think? What do we think? Is it looking pretty? Is it looking pretty? So hopefully we achieved our, you know, our je ne sais quoi. And she says it's not too much, but it gives you like that mysterious look, and I hope that we've got that down. Now she goes in with a little bit of a highlighter. She uses the Victoria Beckham one. We're going to use this Hints highlighter, and I'm just going to use a tiny bit because I don't want it to mess up that shadow. Just to give it a little highlight right in the center. I'm not looking at the camera. I can do this in the kitchen. I can do this in no lights. Just go by the feeling. Just go by the feeling. Ah, she's so cute. She's so cute. I think on the Shop My Stash, I forgot to pull a cream brush. Cream blush, but we're going to use this one by Makeup by Mario. And she just, of course, fingers, 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 fingers. I think it's so funny because she was talking about, like, she sees people with their faces when they're like going like this, and she thought it was filler. She's like, but it's not the filler because I don't get filler and I have it. And I was like, you know what? I feel the same thing because I've seen in the videos when I'm editing my videos, and I'm like, why do my cheeks look all like wobble? I don't know. I see where she's coming from though. I see where she's coming from. She says this she does different than most people. She puts the powder first. So we're going to do the same thing, and we're going in with our Laura Mercier translucent setting powder because this is just my favorite one, and we're going to go in with our Sephora puff, and we're just going to set our face. You need to be good to do what she's about to do, eh? Usually powder is hard to mix with other things, so you have to have the perfect touch. She has the perfect touch. Let's hope we have the perfect touch, because I don't know if we do or not. But I'm gonna go with the coffee because this is the lighter one. Let's just pray we don't mess everything up. Oh, let's just pray. We're just gonna go in with just a little bit, just a little bit. We don't want to go crazy. We don't want to go crazy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Is she having heart palpitations when she does this? Because I'm having heart palpitations when I do this. Ooh, ooh, I don't like the way that, ooh, ooh. I don't think I have the perfect touch, Salma. Oh no. Oh. We can't all have the perfect touch. Oh well, oh well. We're gonna try to untouch our perfect, ooh, that's interesting. Alright, and now she goes in the second time with a brush. So she uses a brush in here, and we're going to go in with our bronzer. She kind of like comes in a little bit over here on the sides of her face. A little bit. Normally she does it with music. Me too, Salma. Music or a podcast. Or YouTube video, like, let's be real. And blush, which I'm going to use this Tower 28 blush. And let's go ahead and pop this open. And she uses a brush for this too, so we get to use a brush again. This is one of my like all-time favorite blushes. Using my fingers, I did get a little bit of glitter on my face, but you know what? We're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, she's coming in with a little bit more of highlighter, and we're gonna put a little bit, this is the Westman Atelier, and she puts it kind of more like in the middle of her cheeks. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kind of come and put, mine like melted a little bit or something apparently. I'm just gonna, she puts a little bit on the tip of her nose as well. Not close to the danger areas. Okay, okay, okay. She says take something that is more like a tint. So let's go ahead and put on our Mocha Me Wet tint. And for this tint, I do need to let it sit for a few minutes. So we'll do that. Okay, so I went ahead and let that sit for a few minutes. My daughter actually had her first job interview, so I was sitting in the parking lot like this. That was fun. Okay. Then she does that number. She takes a Kleenex and she spreads it. She does it really easily. Let's see. Let's hope my toilet paper does this. Oh no! No, are you gonna not? No, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh, ooh, her toilet paper does this a lot easier. Let's try this from the other edge. Okay, we're trying this again. But no. Okay. Can't really get it in two, so we're gonna pretend it's in two, and then she just kind of pushes down everything that we just did.
You want another color on the lips?
You want another color on the lips? We're gonna use Clinique's Black Honey. I feel like this is the closest thing I can find in my collection to what she was using. And she tops it off with a gloss. So we're gonna go in with the Rare Beauty gloss. So we got our gloss on, and then she goes ahead, she gets her hair out. So we're gonna, what is our hair gonna look like? I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. We're not gonna look like, we're definitely not gonna look like Salma at this point. But you know what? We're just having fun. So she kind of has like a little part. Let's see if we can part it. Put a little part in the middle. Like Salma. Okay, Salma. Okay. No products, Selma. No products. Okay. No products. Okay, so now she's talking about how, you know, she does like take care of like the kind of like the little dragons, like the sticking out like white hairs. And you know, if you do have that problem, you could at this point go in with the Alpha Roller Lash if that's what you were gonna do, you know, and like fix your grays and do all that, because hey, that's a great tip. I feel like that's a great tip. But we don't have that, so we're gonna go in with this Day Hair Wand, and I'm just gonna kind of try to, you know, tame my flyaways like what she's doing and give it like this little flip up type deal. She's just kind of styling the front of her hair. And I am thinning quite a bit here, so we're not gonna cover up grays, but we can definitely, you know, like mask that little thinner area. I ain't hating on that. So it smells so good. I literally, like, every time I use it, I just want to smell it. I just want to smell it. I just want to stick my face in it and smell it. Okay. So, I don't know. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You know, let's be like Selma. Let's be adventurous. Let's be creative with our makeup, you know? She says, touch your face, touch your hair, touch yourself, you know? It's like a moment. It's a beauty routine. It's our pampering. Let's see. This is the look. I mean, I don't even know. Should we back up? Should we close up? I don't know what we should do to try to see this better. If it was me, I feel like I would fill in my brows a little bit. She has really, really thick, beautiful, luscious brows, and I would probably fill in my tails a little bit and do a little bit more to my hair. But overall, I mean, for just like using my fingers on the most of this, you know, she's talking about how as we get older and sometimes, you know, we're like not liking the way we look, and changing the makeup and just like adapt with the times, roll with the punches, go with the flow. Like everything's not going to work the same way that it worked when we were younger. And that's okay. And I don't know. I really, really love her. This whole video was so much fun to follow. Anyway. Okay, so the memory on my camera totally filled up, but this was really, really fun to create, and I love her, and I hope you guys enjoyed just a little bit me, you know, having some fun following Selma's routine. If you enjoyed today's video at all, please, if you would take a quick moment to like, comment, or subscribe. Yeah.
I'll see you in the next one. Bye.